which should help, hopefully, quite quickly. And so, yeah, I've not personally ever had any problems, but if you do, go make it. I don't. Generally, if you're experiencing lag, it might just be your connection to your computer. Try plugging it in. Try changing your USB port. All of those things might be really helpful. The other thing is, if you want the Bluetooth, make sure your antenna that comes out of the back of your computer that handles your Wi-Fi is in a very easy to see place. It's not blocked by metal, not blocked by a wall or the front of your computer. If you have Wi-Fi and you don't have an antenna, you probably should have an antenna. Go find your box and put the antenna on. Sometimes they don't come with them. If not, I don't know. So hopefully that helps. You can also test rumble pads in the other section, which is actually kind of handy. You can tell if something's broken in your controller if it's set up correctly. You can also tell it if you want to emulate an Xbox controller or a PS4 controller. DualShock or just say in your head PS4 controller. You can also turn off disabled, or you can also set up a disabled virtual controller. All these settings are pretty self-explanatory, and a lot of the other ones you actually have a couple over explanation as to what they do. So yeah, I mean, most of this is pretty. That you have to change ever outside of maybe the key bindings, because a lot of these are just kind of technical settings that if you just roll with the option, choosing no will cause a profile editor to use an empty gamepad profile. I'm gonna say yes. And I want my preset to be gamepad with mouse-like joystick. Let's say high precision camera. Let's just say gamepad. I don't know that we need it to be too fancy. Let's say it emulates a PS4 controller, and we'll go with it. And then for color, we'll make this one like a weird pink, just so I can tell it apart. And then out of the box, this should be 90% the exact same, except for the fact that it's reading as a PS4 controller properly, as opposed to an Xbox controller. And then we can call this whatever we want. We can call this PS4 default. And then we can hit save. You can also go in here and edit this, and you can select a different preset to load. You can say, I want to try these other ones, and then apply. And then it'll load those other settings instead, and then you can save it. And it'll save over top of whatever the profile was that you were messing with. So you can change all that here. You can get really fine-tuned with a lot of the different settings for the controller, key bindings, and the settings for how sensitive they are in the dead zone. It's kind of nice. I think that about covers it, really, for most of the features of this software. The other thing I will probably say is a lot of people will probably use other software that has drivers for PS4 controllers. So let's briefly talk about that. Let's say you're playing a game with PS4 controller support. Don't leave this turned on. It can sometimes interfere with that and break stuff. Turn this off. If you're using Steam, don't use DS4 Windows at the same time. Mostly going to say that because Steam has built-in drivers for controllers, so if you want to use the Steam drivers, don't use this at the same time. It can conflict. If you're using a game that has built-in support, don't use this. They can conflict. If this is not really showing your controllers, make sure that it's set to start instead of stop. That tends to help. If you're not seeing your controller, try plugging it and unplugging it a few times. That oftentimes will help to get it to detect. Sometimes it takes a minute. Run this as admin is probably also a really good idea. I don't always remember that because I often just do that automatically. You might need to restart your computer when setting up all these drivers before they properly take effect on your system. Go ahead and try that. You might have to close the software and open it a couple times. If you're having that issue where it's not detecting your .NET framework, download the older version of the .NET framework. Download 5.0.0. There's a guide to do that on the channel somewhere with a link in the video description to go right to it and download it. Go find that. That will make sure that it'll properly detect the .NET framework. Sometimes when Windows updates stuff, this breaks. Just download a slightly older version, everyone's happy. I think that covers most of it. I'll be showing you guys how to hook up your Nintendo controllers next this week, so stay tuned for that. So that'll be it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. This has been kind of like a walkthrough how to install DS4 Windows and get it set up. Hope you found this helpful. I'll catch you next time. Bye, everybody. Have a good one.